folks. My name is Mo Amir, and this is VANCOLOUR, British Columbia's bona fide culture and politics TV talk show right here on Check and Check Plus. We're also on YouTube and wherever you listen to your podcasts. Tonight, we're launching a new segment right now. I'm going to take your complaints directly to the government, and you can judge their answers for yourself. So let's get into it about affordability. From gas to groceries to a roof over your head, things are getting increasingly expensive in BC. So what is our provincial government doing about it? Our first guest is here to answer your concerns. She's the twice elected BC NDP MLA for North Vancouver Lonsdale, and since 2020, BC's Minister of State for Infrastructure, a VANCOLOUR fan favorite. She is Minister Bowinn Ma, and this is the complaint box. Bowinn, are you ready?
I am, Mo.
Complaint number one. BC has the highest gas prices in North America, which includes 70 cents per liter in BC NDP gas tax cash grabs. Why isn't your government providing immediate relief to British Columbians by suspending these taxes, which would result in an automatic 30% discount at the pump?
You know, Mo, this is one of those issues where good politics and good policy sadly don't line up. While cutting taxes is a politically popular move for governments to make, economists warn that it's actually unlikely to reduce the retail price of gas that people pay at the pump. What would happen instead is that the public would give up critical revenue that is used to support road infrastructure, public transit, and other services, while gas companies just increase their profit margins to make up the difference. That's why we've taken a more targeted approach. By providing low-income climate tax credits and rebates to drivers through ICBC, we can make sure that people and families, not oil tycoons, get to benefit from the savings.
So let's talk about government spending. Complaint number two. 1 million British Columbians do not have a family doctor. Schools across BC need major upgrades. Our cities need more non-market housing. So with these overlapping crises of unaffordability and lack of access to basic services, why is your government spending $1 billion on some museum in Victoria instead of investing in people?
Look, the BC Royal Museum is an important public asset that hosts over 800,000 visitors a year. It is also a public asset that has come to the end of its useful life. It sits way below sea level, it isn't seismically safe, and has asbestos everywhere, creating a risk to people that we can't take. It's also just one of literally hundreds, thousands of projects and initiatives that we've undertaken for British Columbians since the beginning. Creating a system of care for mental health and becoming the first province in Canada to decriminalize addictions. Building up a universal childcare system and reducing fees for tens of thousands of families. Opening 28 new urgent and primary care centers and hiring nearly 30,000 additional healthcare workers. Leading the province through a pandemic and catastrophic damage to our highways, and much, much more, all while also building schools, hospitals, housing, childcare, and transportation infrastructure at a rate never before seen in this province. Mo, you're right about the need for housing security and access to healthcare. Those issues are so important to people and families, as is knowing that your children are safe when they go to school or visit a museum. And that's why we've been focusing on all of these issues since the beginning.
Complaint number three, brass tacks. Your party has been in power for 5 years and things are more expensive. Facts. Why is the BC NDP making life increasingly unaffordable for British Columbians?
It's okay to feel frustrated, Mo. We've gone through a lot in the last few years. A global pandemic, a toxic drug crisis, wildfires, heat waves, countrywide high housing prices, leaving people struggling to find a home, an extreme climate event that cut off fuel and devastated our highways. But through it all, we have been there, working hard for regular folks like you. We've tackled money laundering and toxic speculation in the housing market, changed laws to improve housing security for renters, and started building homes at record pace. I think it's worth remembering what things were like before John Horgan's BC NDP had the opportunity to lead this province. Under the BC Liberals, Criminal money laundering ran rampant, and the government of the day refused to even acknowledge that a housing crisis existed, let alone build social housing projects. They refused to invest in new hospitals, fired thousands of healthcare workers, slow-walked seismic upgrades, and closed 250 schools while ignoring the childcare crisis, allowing ICBC's deficit to balloon out of control, and the scandals, selling land to their friends, public contracts to big donors. Is there more for us to do? You better believe that there's more for us to do. But since the beginning, we've been working hard for you. And I'm 100% confident that our province is in a better position today than we would have been under the BC Liberals. And Mo, I think you know that too.
Well, hey, Bowinn, you might be the most skilled communicator in the BC legislature, but I'll let British Columbians decide for themselves. Thank you so much for being the first guest, maybe the only guest, on the Complaint Box. Folks, that was BC Minister of State for Infrastructure Bowinn Ma. Now, after some business, we're going to talk about something that could probably be its own segment of the Complaint Box, ICBC. Is the new system for no-fault auto insurance fundamentally broken? A cyclist shares his harrowing and bizarre experience up next. I'm Mo Amir. This is VANCOLOUR.